Hello I'm too sketchy, welcome, and today I have something very special for all you loot hoarders out there. Today we're going to take a glimpse at 5 legendary weapons that you can get your hands on in Outriders. Plus I'll be explaining how the weapon and armor upgrade system works as well. The Outriders team has been busy posting these 5 legendary weapons that you're about to see on their social media pages. Lucky for you, I took the time and did all the hard work to consolidate all these weapons and footage into one easy to watch video. So just keep that in mind when the footage that you're about to see is a little bit on the lower end due to their origin. Alright, so without begging you to like, comment, and subscribe, if you really want, you can. Let's dive into it. First, let's check out this baby back rib of a gun held together by flesh and bones, which is actually the legendary submachine gun called the Migraine. However, before dissecting all these 5 upcoming weapons, we should remember that the item level, firepower, and their other attributes are not concrete or in stone numbers that you see on the screen. For example, each weapon will have different variants that you will be able to choose from by crafting them with resources, which will allow you to change how the weapon behaves on the battlefield. As you may have noticed, the Migraine on screen has a standard variant, but rest assured that you will be able to change this, which will alter some of the numbers that you see currently. Aside from that, you will be able to level up weapons as well. The cool thing about this is, if you loot a gun in the early stages of your playthrough, and you really enjoy the way the gun behaves, or even the armor feels, you can upgrade its rarity to become a legendary item, helping you push through harder challenges. Allowing you to raise its rarity means you may raise its item level to level 50, which is the max item level in Outriders. However, not only are you affecting or empowering its item level and firepower, but you are also re-rolling its attributes, which there are 3 of. I'm not sure if I talked about this in a previous video, but just to note, your characters or your Outriders are going to be maxing out at level 30. Your weapons, gear, and stuff like that, their max level is going to be level 50. Just want to make sure that that's covered, okay? Back to the legendaries. What makes these 5 unique weapons unique are the mods that come with them, as they are bespoke mods that can only be found in these guns. The fun part about it all will be finding out how to best min-max or maximize its potential with the Outriders classes and abilities. And as I mentioned in the previous video, the only way you can actually use a mod to use in a different gun is by dismantling it. So, keep that in mind when you are theory crafting or experimenting with your loadout and deciding which gun you actually should be dismantling and or which mods you should be keeping. In regards to the Migraine, it comes with the Bombs Ahead mod, which states, killing shots turns enemies into anomaly bombs, dealing X amount of damage. I say X because this is a tier 2 mod, which will mean that there's a tier 3 out there somewhere, and it has a 3-second cooldown. I'm guessing that the damage numbers somehow increase or decrease depending on what kind of build you're running, and most likely will depend on things that you've picked on your skill tree. This damage number, however, is incredibly large, but essentially any kill on an enemy will turn them into a nuclear explosion. Just that alone makes me think of ways to somehow try to link or build something that allows me to, make this stuff go off more or make them explode more, which is a perfect segue to talk about the Voodoo Matchmaker, a legendary assault rifle. Again, don't worry about the numbers too much since we will be able to enhance them ourselves in the crafting menu. Let's instead check out the unique mod it comes with, Ultimate Damage Link, which states, shots can link up to 3 enemies, which will share their weapon damage taken by 30% and anomaly damage by 10%. The name is so fitting because enemies essentially become voodoo dolls. Whatever happens to one enemy will happen to 2 others. Now, imagine this mod, but with Bombs Ahead from the Migraine submachine gun that we just covered. That sounds pretty insane. I'm sure there's better combinations that can be made with these. I'm just going off the information that we have at hand. However, don't let me get in the way of your imagination from thinking about other possibilities that we might come across in the near future. The next legendary weapon is called the Grim Morrow, a honker crystal light machine gun engulfed in bone. Yeah, it's kind of crazy looking. The mods here make for an interesting combo. One that slows the enemy, which is more in line with the Trickster kit, and one that creates an anomaly singularity. which when destroyed will cause an AoE explosion. The interesting thing here is there seems to be no limit to how many singularities can be made since it's based on killing blows. And also, the way it's described sounds like even your co-op buddies can destroy these singularities to cause them to explode. This could cause some serious chain reactions when stacked with other sources of damage. Speaking of stacks, let's talk about the Amber Vault, which is the first of its kind, being a legendary double gun. It's another crazy looking gun, but this time it comes with a bad haircut. The Amber Vault on screen has two really interesting mods: Brain Eater, which will consume ammo if you crit, and Killing Spree, which increases the damage by 30% for 30 seconds, deteriorating with time but can stack up to 5 times. 30% damage with a stack of 5 seems like an insane window of damage applied, and if the majority of these shots crit, would mean that we would rarely ever reload, making for a crit build something worth exploring with the Amber Vault. And the last legendary that we are going to cover today is the Iceberg, a bolt-action rifle equipped with two very thematic mods fitting its ice-cold cosmetic visual. This is one of the few combos of mods I noticed that work incredibly well with each other, and it's sort of self-sufficient in creating combo opportunities. Winter Blast, for example, creates an icy blast on critical shots, which frees enemies in a radius, while Icebreaker makes each frozen kill explode into icy shards of X damage. From its example, it's very good at picking off the enemy and causing them to go into a frozen status effect. Personally, I think the Technomancer seems to be a great combination to use with this weapon, being that it has other means of supporting itself with its artillery bombardment. However, and I think this is pretty damn cool, because here's some little bonus information. Whether you agree with me that the Technomancer would be a great combination doesn't really matter, because in Outriders we will have the ability to stash our loot, guns, gears, and weapons and whatnot in our hubs. These are places where we can kind of just chill out, gather our resources, talk to NPCs and whatnot. This will also allow us to cross our items between each class that you may have, giving you the opportunity to min-max even more and spec out your abilities to its full potential. Obviously, this is not like a new system to gaming in general. See, we've seen this being done in Destiny. We've even seen this being done in Diablo, where players would go out into difficult areas and try to loot some sort of legendary or really hard to find gear, sets of gears, even weapons of some sort, or cosmetic items. And allowing us, the player base of Outriders, to be able to do that as well is really, really key. Because, for example, let's say I'm, doing my end game content and I'm playing as the Devastator, and I find myself a Grim Morrow that hits really hard if you have, some sort of slowdown mechanic. Sure, my Grim Morrow or my Devastator can now slow down, but what if the Trickster in the skill tree has some sort of bonus that, when a player slows down an enemy, you deal extra damage? This will essentially allow you to min-max even further and show opportunities for you to, use some sort of creativity when it comes to finding mods, builds, weapons, and it just allows the player base to essentially find what works best for them. And well, it sort of just feels freeing to be able to do that kind of stuff. I like the fact that we're not limited to set class, this weapon, this or that, and it's a good thing. I like it a lot. Alright, anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. As always, if I managed to keep you around this long, consider sharing with your friends, liking the video, and letting me know how to improve down below. And if you'd like to keep tabs on our Outriders journey, subscribe. And I'll see you next time. To Sketchy out. Peace. Ow, just hit my hand. Peace.